All right, what is up, Ace Faithful? Did everyone sleep as sound as I did last night? I mean, I slept like a puppy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I slept till noon. I literally woke up at noon today, smiling, happy as hell that I'm going to be getting on here and talking. Because let's face it, the first few podcasts haven't had a whole lot of good things to say. So welcome to the Habit Hunter Ace podcast in the House Always Wins podcast network. Do me a solid. Make a habit of taking a moment and clicking like and subscribe. And I get it. Every video you click on, that they all say the same thing, right? Like and subscribe. But for real, it does keep a massive amount of A's content in the algorithm. And that's what we're here for, to grow the base. That's why there's so many shows on this network. You've got to check them out. I'm Tim Byrnes. You can call me Hobbs. I'm a sports writer covering the athletics for the guys at Mid-Valley Sports out of Los Angeles, where I cover the amazing A's as well as the entire NFL desk during football season. You can find me at Sacktown A's Fans for Life on X in this, the Habit Hunter podcast. Now, Habit Hunter is a show that reviews each series at the end of each series, analyzing trends, tendencies, good and bad. And, obviously, up until this series, it's been mostly bad. But, hey, things are changing, right? And if you're a baseball guy like me, you know when someone's locked in and you know when they can't hit a slider to save their life, which was the Athletics until this series. And we're settling in at the plate, I'm telling you. We will cover what A's players are trending up or down. We'll analyze moves management make and ownership. We're going to keep an eye. We have a right to, because as A's fans, we've been shell-shocked by ownership. And the last few years have bred a lot of distrust. And we look at ownership through a narrow lens. I mean, look, it's justified a lot of fans bolted, and it's justified that, we're going to have to earn our keep just to get some back. But, feeling cast aside and hoodwinked, that's pretty much how we felt. And for real, I even took a year off. But stadium is getting there, guys. They've started the vertical construction of the bowl part of the stadium. It's moving up. Ownership spent some serious cash in the offseason. They were securing some of our core young stars. We got a couple more to go, but we secured some stuff, and we haven't done that in the past. We actually are throwing money. The recent valuation of the team shows the A's are worth $500 million more than last season. The House Always Wins podcast network is here to rebuild the fan base, and I'll hope you check out the entire list of amazing shows. It's All on Green, Stats Meet Instinct, Budget Baseball. There's so many more. I mean, every week seems like there's a new show. Got talented people. You can wake up before 10. Booney's going to dose you up with some A's knowledge, and he's there after the games as well to wrap them up. Lots of shows. Everyone's a badass. So trust me, man. Check them all out. Tell me what you see in the comments as the show today progresses, okay? And with that, let's get cracking on the breakdown of this series. We won this series. It's awesome. What an opener to this series, though. Friday. Is it just me, or is the sun shining brighter, right, in Sacktown today? It's been 7 months since A's fans have had something to cheer up. I pulled my 9/11 hat, as you can see, off the wall again today. We're heading to New York. I got this at the first home game after 9/11, 25 years ago. It's my lucky hat. 11-4 ass whooping of the cheaters from Texas Friday night. And I don't have a whole lot of hate in my heart, but I can't stand those trash can bangers. I can't stand them. I just want nothing but ill will, respect, but yeah, you cheat. You all cheat. Everyone ate at the plate for the A's in Friday's opener. And it was the offense we were expecting opening day, right? There was a record crowd in West Sac. We represented. I know it's a pathetic amount, whatever it was, 12,410, I think it was. But for a small stadium, we showed up. I'm pretty proud of them. Starter Jeffrey Springs, he gave me the warm and fuzzies with a great start. Butler, he hit a dong, went 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Muncy, he showed the bat speed from spring training. He went batshit crazy, man. Hold on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break him down right now. All right. Dude went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, but that wasn't the story. It was the speed off the bat. And we started to see it mid last series, right? Mid last series with the Braves. Speed off the bat. He started with a single, 110 off the bat in the second. His double in the third, 104.9. He hits a solo home run in the fourth, 101.7. Even when he hit into a double play, I think it was I didn't write it down. I think it was the sixth, seventh. It was 102 plus off the bat. And I was hoping they moved him up in the order Saturday. Given the Friday production, that speed off the bat, just insane. But you know what? He's batting .314 right now, and he's leading the team. He's absolutely just killing it. Sodi, he reached 3 times in the opener. RBI double, RBI single, and he walked. A little selective at the plate while stroking the ball. It was the offensive display we knew they had in him. We've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for it. It just hadn't come together. One hit an inning. Nothing ever got strung together. This game, we felt it, right? A's had base runners every inning but the 7th. All 11 runs were with 2 outs. That's been one of our issues. Usually 2 outs mean, the A's are toast. A great stat I saw for this game, A's hitters were down 0-2 in counts only 4 times. I mean, I always harp on these. I'll explain that in a sec. But like in the Toronto series, A's averaged 12 0-2 counts per game. Averaged. I think they had 15 or 16 in a game. In Atlanta, they had 8 0-2 counts per game. Averaging. That's crazy. A's batted around in the 4th, scoring 6 runs. And it started with Denzel Clark drawing a 4-pitch walk. Clark had more patience in this game. And yes, he did his usual strikeouts. He had a couple, but he went 1 for 3 with a walk, and he had an RBI. More important to me was the walk, the 4-pitch walk. He was selective. The pitches were coming in different speeds, different locations, wasn't finding it. They were close. A couple were close enough, and he laid off. He was up 2-0 in another at bat too. So while there are always variables as to why people can go up 0-2 and 2-0, there's always variables, right? The eye test. It's just the eye test. It says he's improved on his patience at the plate in this game, right? I should point out the A's actually batted around 3 times in this series, right? That doesn't happen very often. So we are back. I feel it. You can see it, Kurtz walked next. So that put 2 on and nobody out. But then Shea hit into a double play. And this is where, again, the Athletics go quietly into the good night, right? You don't see him again. It's done. The inning's over. But no, Sodi singled. Rooker had his own 4-pitch walk, which we love because, he's been free swinging early on. So to see him also do what Clark did, they're both being a little more selective. It's, approach. And they flip-flop on like that in this series. But they're more trending in a good direction than they're trending, back to the first 2 series, right? Wilson followed with an RBI single. Wilson, he had an outstanding snag. Ball got by Muncy to his left, and man, he went deep to get that. He snagged it, long throw. I didn't think it was going to even be close, and he got it there. It was a great play. Love seeing Wilson getting some range, right? Because people say, he could be better. And that's a good sign. Anyway, Butler and Muncy, then that's when they went back to back. Butler hit his 3-run shot. Muncy hit a solo. It was a great inning. This was the inning we were looking and waiting for. It's like, where have you guys been? What's with all the weak hits and the, 8-pitch innings, taking 8 pitches to get 3 guys out? Enough of that, right? People, including myself, were questioning putting Kurtz at leadoff. But he reached 8 times in this series, right? But, we had good reason. Kurtz was hitless at leadoff for the season going into Houston. And Wilson had doubled in the previous 2 games he led off. So we were like, what's Kurtz doing? Obviously Wilson has no problem. He's actually excelling when you put him at leadoff. And, Kurtz isn't. So what's up? I guess he saw something we didn't. I don't know. But Kurtz did draw his team-leading 5th walk Friday to at least get aboard. But Kurtz has been clearly lost on breaking pitches, right? Flailing it, sliders, that kind of thing. One positive note in the opener was that in the first, he almost hit one out, 104 off the bat. You could basically, so while I was beginning to be concerned about the 1 for 21 start, his career at all levels was saying he was going to be fine, right? And he had a monster series finale, and we'll go over that. I think he's pulling out of his rut. So our starter, Jeffrey freaking Springs, right? Dude had a great outing. 6 innings, 2 hit ball, only 1 earned run, 7 Ks, just 1 walk. His slider was extra crispy. His only trouble was in the third because the Astros let off with a single, Yainer Diaz, and he was doubled home by Jeremy Pena. Other than that, he dominated. He controlled the game. He finished retiring the last 11 he faced. And he can sit around the next 4 or 5 days, right? And smile, undefeated, 2.38 ERA, right? I mean, that makes me smile. You should be making him smile, But, of course, I have a German Shepherd dog, and after my Golden got knocked up, I wound up with 4 dogs, and you guys have seen Neo pop up, and I have to get up and try to let him by. That I can safely say this. I can't expect to keep nice things, right? That's kind of like how A's relievers are. They just can't have a solid 1, 2, 3 inning. It's impossible. They just can't do it, right? So Mike Kelly took over in the 7th, and after 3 batters, he had struck out 2, and he had only given up a weak single, like 70 miles an hour off the bat, right? Looked good. Took about 10 pitches. And then it was like he flipped a switch, Kelly walked the next 3 batters. They took him to full count, all 3 batters, right? He allowed a run before ending the 7th. And it's like, every time, So JT again, you finally see another appearance. I was talking about that in the last show that, here he went 3 2/3 a scoreless ball in the finale in Toronto, right? Up in Canada. And, we haven't seen him. We didn't even see him. So, he comes in. He has a solid 9-pitch 8th. He goes 0-2 counts to the first 2 hitters, right? So I'm like, 4 2/3 inning. This guy is a machine, right? A different JT Ginn came out to close the 9th. Gave up back-to-back singles, one by former infielder, A's infielder, Nick Allen. I really like that guy. I wish him success, right? And Cam Smith, which you'll hear about from time to time in this show. They both gave up. They both got singles, and after an RBI sacrifice fly, Yainer Diaz again had an RBI double, finished out the scoring, but it just seems like they just can't get 1, 2, 3, right? But it was a great start to the series, man. Great, 11 runs. We love that, right? Saturday. It's like they flipped to the other side of the coin. They returned to the old habits. One of the first things I said in the Habit Hunter debut was that Luis Morales was a mess all spring, and I nicknamed him Mr. Batting Practice. I mean, bless his season last year and his game last year, right? Solid, wonderful poise last year, but in spring training, if an outing wasn't full of walks, he was giving up the long ball. Sometimes he was giving up the walks and the long ball, right? For example, in his last spring training game, he walked 4 in 2 innings, right? He was all over the place. Couldn't find his zone. In his first start in Toronto, right, he gave up 5 hits, 2 walks, less walks, but he gave up 3 home runs, right? So I reiterated my controversial take before the season began, right? In my first podcast. It was controversial because, well, basically who would replace him, but it was also because people want to hope players can just flip a switch or figure it out, but I said this. I said Morales doesn't belong on the mound in West Sac right now, and maybe I'm not sounding fanboy enough. I get that. I don't want to be too critical of everybody, but his sinker isn't sinking. It wasn't, and it isn't. His stuff ain't stuffing, right? Look at his stats this game. 15 of 21 batters reached that he faced. 15 batters. if I were to break down this abomination of a pitching day, I'd be here like 2 hours, right? The sheer volume of suck was overwhelming. The first, I'm going to run this through you. The first three he faced reached in the first. Double walk single. First two scored, right? First two reached in the second. Hit by pitch single. First two reached in the third. Home run walk. 4-pitch walk. The first guy in the fourth before being pulled. And by the way, Katse, that's a little late. That's a little late. I mean, why did all right, I'm going to say, why did Katse even bring him out in the fourth? Like, he gave up single, walk, double, walk, home run. 2 of those walks were on 4 pitches. I mean, is that not enough of a bad third inning that you don't get somebody up? You're going to go out there and let him throw a 4-pitch walk again, right? It was pure batting. He had 4-pitch walks in 3 innings. Like, what's it going to take? 5 earned, 8 hits, 6 walks, hit a batter. He lost the second game. Dude's 0-2, 10 earned in 7 1/3, 13 hits, 8 walks, and a hit batter. Like, the guy's not going to improve right now in the show, right? And anyone with open eyes can just see the defeat on his face, man. I mean, I don't know who mentioned it or whether I was just thinking it. I mean, because we go on this group chat thing, and there's a lot of the guys from the different shows on it. And he looked like he was going to cry. He had that look on his face. I mean, how long do we do this? Like, we could try again, right? Or pull up Gauge. I understand the ramifications of doing something like that, but anyone's better than what we saw from him Saturday, right? I mean, enough about that. Elvis Alvarado, he worked the 4th and 5th. But what does he do? It's like a contagion. It's like a contagion or something. He started the 4th, walk, double, single, 2 runs. Started the 5th, double walk. You know, he has a better appearance in the finale, I guess. I'll get that short. I'll get to that. I'll get to that shortly. I don't know. But you'll see the pattern. You got to see the pattern, right? Starting innings, gifting bases like we were in extra innings and drop the runner on second base to start the game, right? Start the inning. I mean, we may have taken 2 of 3 from Houston, but that's our persona right now on the bump is we just throw runners out there left and right. It's crazy. Hogan Harris, he's our best arm in relief, right? I think so. I think that's our closer. I think I would rather have him close. He's our most consistent, right? Right? Is he? Houston batted around on him in the 6th. He started off double, single, walk. All 3 of those people scored. 6 of the 8 people, first 8 people reached. It was that ugly. I mean, that was just in that inning. Anyway, Luis Medina, he started great. He in our chat, he was even making the critics start to believe in the 7th. He struck out the first 2. He was done in 14 pitches. He started the 8th same way, punching out the first 2. And the guys in the chat, they were believing. But that guy, Cam Smith, Mr. 10 career home runs, he goes yardstick 111. It's like, then Medina does what Medina does, which is why we hesitate to trust him, is because then he immediately goes off the rails, right? And that's exactly what he did. He went 4-pitch walk, and then he full count walk before he kind of righted the ship a little bit, because that home run affected him. And we got to watch for that. Now, I'm not going to call it a habit. I'm not going to call it a trend, but it's something to watch out for. Medina, adversity, not good, right? Michael Kelly, he mercifully ended the 9th, but he had to do, on the way out, he had to give up the walk and single because it's kind of what we do, right? Right. But we allowed the first 3 batters. Let's look at this. We allowed the first 3 batters to reach in an inning in the 1st, the 4th, and the 6th. And we allowed the first 2 to reach in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 9th. Like, you can't win like that. You can't. The final count on the mound is beyond ugly. I mean, I was at opening day last season. That's why we got a couple of the things up there behind me are from opening day. Ricky's alive. I'm telling you, Ricky's alive. I saw him that day. He was everywhere. Anyway, we lost 18-3 that game. And that particular game felt like that. You ready for this? 9 singles, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, another hit batter, 13 walks. 31 batters reached on the A's Saturday. I mean, the A's actually, they turned 4 double plays, which was the primary reason the game wasn't 17-zip, right? You can't win a game that way. You can't. You definitely can't win hitting like we did in that game, because thank God for only one game, because we know what happens on Sunday, right? Yeah, outstanding. Anyway, they reverted back to the 0-2 counts, 9 of them in this game. The guys punched out 13 times. The heart of the order had 7 Ks, and this is a full-blown trend, right? 2 through 5 average 6 strikeouts a game. They just, a lot of swing and miss, lots of swing and miss. They don't sit and look much. They're not swinging freely, right? A's scattered 5 singles on offense and 3 walks. And that's it. That's it. We let some guy named Tatsuya Imai look like Pedro Martinez. Pedro freaking Martinez. I mean, you know what? I'm tired of the rookies setting their first errors against the A's. You know, we've already seen it. First hits, first home runs. Now we give Tatsuya his first career win. I mean, come on. The only positive I did see at the plate, and it was definitely a positive, is Nick Kurtz finally got a hit batting leadoff, right? And it was against the slider. So it's progress. And you'll see, he may have turned the corner. He's heating up. He's heating up. We're going to talk about it. Max Muncy. Yeah, Max Muncy. Sure, why not, right? Muncy singled twice. He lifted his average over 310. He's just pounding the ball. Shea struck out. He struck out all 3 at-bats. And he has cooled off a little bit. But people are pitching him a little more rough, you know. Notice that, you know, they're not giving him much to hit, you know. They're not going to attack him. They're not going to throw one down the middle, you know. But he's still batting over 300 going into the finale. Not bad. Rooker, he went over 3 with 2 Ks. But apparently it pissed him off enough to, as he put it, I heard a couple of different interviews, but he said he went Hulk-like and smashed a chair, right? That's pretty cool. But when you look at that, and then you look at Jeff McNeil dropping F-bombs the other day, you know, Rooker's rearranging furniture, if you want to call it that, you know, it shows the guys are showing some self-awareness. They're showing some heart, right? That's what we want. We don't want them rolling over. I was seeing a lot of that in late innings, just petering with little 9-pitch ground out, fly out, you know, in 9 pitches. You know, did I think it helped? Yeah, I believe so. You know, because after an Austin opener where arms and bats shredded, you know, the A's woke up in a funk for this middle game. And the Astros proved it. You know, they had 8 extra base hits. You know, I live 12 exits away, you know. Takes me 14 minutes to get there. Weather was warm. It was nice, clear. There was no excuse for, you know, basically, what did we see? Offensive hibernation, you know. They went to sleep. They rested really well in that first win and kind of petered out. They went back to old approach. But for Sunday, what a finish, right? Changes everything. 1 win. 12-10 walk-off win. Morale, winning a series. A's won their first series. It was in division, 2-3 versus first place. Houston. I hate Houston. Ugh. Rooker, he had a 3-run dinger on a 2-0 count for the walk-off win in the bottom of the 10th. You know, he worked the favorable count, man. They had to throw that. And he was waiting on it, man. He launched it. He hit 2 home runs yesterday. His first of the day, that was his 100th for the A's. That's a great milestone. You know, I love it. I'm really, really happy for him. 6 RBIs. Did you see when he crossed the plate, though? He had a nice little sidestep. They were like full-on ice water bath, right? They were throwing it on him. He crossed the plate. And he's nice. Well done, sir. Golf clap on that one, man. Anyway, Shea had 2 singles, and he was an Iron Man, man. This was a 4-hour game. I think it went 4:01. Barely a 4-hour game, but if you're a catcher, yeesh. Yeah, that's going to wear on you a little bit. You know, he had a great day. He deserved his day off today. No, nobody's playing. He deserved that. I hope he got some rest. Sodi, he had a 3-run triple. He had 2 walks too. So he's seeing the ball. He's showing his patience. I love that. Kurtz doubled. And you know what he did? First time I've seen it. He smiled. Smiled like last season. He went 2 for 3, 3 walks. He reached base 5 times. 5 times, right? And you know what that means? You know, bad news, guys. Mark Kotze is a creature of habit. I just said Kurtz reached 5 times yesterday. We are going to collectively have to let it go of Kurtz being anywhere but leadoff. He just reinforced it to himself. And, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, opportunities with RBI, you know. Every Athletics bat had a hit, even when they came in. What do you want, buddy? Go. Neo's got to make his daily appearance. Anyway, yeah, we're not. You know, he was on 5 times, but you know, I just don't like him leading off without anybody on. You know, it's just opportunity not had. Got the 9-hole guy in front of him if he has that opportunity. And what's that guy's how often is he on? You know, if he's Denzel Clark, it's not going to be very often. You see what I'm saying? But let's tally it up. We had 16 hits, 3 doubles, a triple, Rooker's 2 home runs. What's also cool, we drew 9 walks, and as vacant as the A's were Saturday at the plate, they were hella patient on Sunday. I don't know what piece of furniture that was. You know, they can go down the road to IKEA. We know where it's at. Go down there and get Rooker a chair, put one together every week, man. I'll pay for it. I'll go down there and buy one. For real, you know. We had 9 full counts from 7 different guys in this game. That says the guys went at Sunday a little different as a team. So maybe that little yelling and screaming and little meeting they were yelling about, you know, maybe that panned out. I love it, though. I love the heart. And they had to do that after wasting that warm air on Saturday. You know, they had a lot of quick ABs on Saturday. Normally, I would break down how we did on the mound, but this was the kind of game I anticipate happening a lot this season. The bats have to out-hit the bat arms, right? And the finale was too fun and heart-wrenching, you know, because the relievers like to give up leads and to rehash arms in depth. Yeah, it's going to hurt. I'll briefly go through it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Jacob Lopez, he did improve. He only lasted 4 innings. He gave up 3 earned for his second start in a row, gave up 5 walks. You can't give up that many walks. We lead the league in that. He got a no decision out of it, just basically because relievers refused to hold that lead, right? As a staff, our walk rate is the worst in baseball, over 15%. A's pitchers walked 11 Sunday, right? I mean, Lopez did strike out 6 this time through, which is good because, remember, he didn't punch out anybody in his last start. No Ks, 5 walks. And that's rare for him. I'll be honest with you. That's rare for him. In the sample size that we have of him, that's rare. He's usually a punch-out guy. Most of the bullpen was throwing batting practice. And I'll be honest with you, the pitcher usage irritated me a little bit anyway. In that, I kind of mean, you know, who's being used when, allowing certain pitch counts to certain guys seemed unnecessary given the scores. Just little keys. You know, I'm not going to rain on the walk-off. You know, just let's take it this way. Just take away that as a pitching staff, we were horrible. We're going to get better. I'm tired of rehashing the high volume of allowed base runners. You know, I hate pointing it out about opponents, but I'll be honest with you, even though it's the Astros, they robbed the A's of hits a few times yesterday. Beautiful plays. There was one in the gap in left center. Joey Lopefito, I think that's how you say his name. And he stretched out, snagged the ball in the gap, and doubled somebody up, and that was amazing. I think it was Wilson. Altuve, he's Altuve. You know what I mean? He just does things right when he's supposed to do them. Agreed. I mean, he's that guy. he's just a little mini that guy, right? He's just a pro's pro. Irritating as hell. I hate looking at him. I hate that smirk on his face. I just want to go slap that smirk off his face. But you know what I mean. As an offense in this series, 7.67 runs a game. That's awesome. When we were shut out in one, I mean, we still had 7.67 runs a game. I don't know how you get 6/7 of a run, but whatever. It's an amazing accomplishment. Let's be real. We batted 324, 34 hits in the series, 10 extra base hits. We got 4 round trippers. We batted 406 with runners in scoring position. And according to the stats, 13 hits and runners in scoring position. 7 of them were with 2 outs. So that's awesome. That means we're clutch. We're starting to get clutch again. Let's look at how the lineup progressed and how they are trending after the 3 series, right? You got Toronto, you have the Braves, and then you had Houston. 2 away, a lot of travel. Canada, East Coast, back home against a good team, first place team. As a team, the A's lifted their average 51 points from the worst in the league, 177, to the 8th ranked average in the American League. 228 as a team, it's climbing. It shows how well we did in the 2 wins, right? A's are 3rd in home runs with 10 as a team. Now the pitching staff, they can't give up 21 runs in 2 days and be doing things right? A's pitching gives up the most walks in baseball and strike out the fewest opponents. And that's hard to succeed, right? Your hitter's got to bail you out. And that's what happened in this game, right? As for individual everyday players, you guys tell me in the comments who you think's shredding right now. Who do you think's rising? Why? Is it, are they seeing that fastball? Are they being able to catch up to it? Are they seeing the slider? Let's do roll call. And you can see some of these stats that are on the scroll. I think they may be current stats. I'm not sure. Kurtz, he batted 300 in this series. He reached 8 times. More importantly, his demeanor. His demeanor says confidence. And reaching 5 times Sunday says he's dialing in. I can see it in his eyes, right? He had a slow start like last year when he took so long to start going yard. Remember that? I think it was like 17 games. 17 games. He's about to be special again. I can feel it. Know a little something about body language. His body language has changed, right? Now, Shea, he's cooled off a bit. Let's be real. He only went 2 for 11, but he's still batting 308. He still leads baseball in home runs. He's got 5 still. So he cooled off this series, but I think it's more pitchers are avoiding him. I mean, his start is insane, right? So, yeah, they're adjusting a little bit. They're not giving him anything to hit. Sodi had 5 RBIs in this series, including that 3-run triple. He batted 300 versus Houston. That's what we want to see. We want to see 3 or 4 guys over 300. That's how you get those rallies, right? Rooker, he only had 2 hits, the Sunday's home runs, but he had the 6 RBIs. So let's look back, right? One of the first habits we noticed in Habit Hunter's debut was Rooker never having deep at bats, and he was falling behind 0-2. I told you we were going to talk about this. He was falling behind constantly. I think he did it 4 times in a game. He only had 2 0-2 counts this series. And why do I point this out? For the season, Rooker is 0 for 11 with 9 strikeouts when he goes down 0-2. So it's almost guaranteed he is going to strike out. So not only is it an out, it's an unproductive out. He can't seem to even get the ball in play, right? So limiting himself to 2 of them, it's going in the right direction. Jacob Wilson is 7 for 21 in his last 5 games, batting .333. Max Muncy, he hit the snot off the ball all series, 100+ off the bat, regardless of if it was a hit or if it was an out. Muncy was 7 for 13 this series. He shredded, .538. I mean, I'd love to see him move up. I said it earlier. I'd love to see him move up and bat 6th. Possibly take advantage of his hard contact with more people aboard, because I'm a little more happy to see somebody like Rooker ahead of him or Sodi. You know what I mean? Jeff McNeil, he's getting in a groove. He had a hit in every game in this series. Lawrence Butler, he homered in the opener. He hit a double Sunday, almost 105. He batted .308 in the series. So great. That's what I said. That's what we're seeing. couple guys hitting 300, we're going to start seeing success. Denzel Clark, he had 2 hits. He had hits in the first game and the last game, including a pinch hit late Sunday. So he only got 1 at bat. He used his speed to get and beat out an infield hit. And he's nearing the Mendoza line. I'm not going to lie. He's doing better. He's batting 190. He's still, I think he's at 45%, 48%, something like that. Strikeout to at bats ratio. And finally, I have to add Carlos Cortez because I want to see him more. I do. He's the primary guy off the bench. He picked up where he left off from last season. Last year, 309, 8 doubles, triple, 4 dongs. That's under 100 at bats, 94 at bats. So this year, 4 for 8 in 5 games. He's batting 500. His bat has to earn him some playing time. Come on. I'd rather see him. I'd rather see him right now than Clark. I'll be honest. Yeah, it would suck not seeing him in the outfield, but I'd rather see him more often. Maybe 2 out of 3. I don't know. Platoon is a bad word. I don't like platoon. I like people to make decisions because I think you need rhythm. I think, and for bats to get consistent and better, they need to see pitches, and they don't need days off. You know what I mean? There's enough days off on the few times between series. Anyway, so to date, the Athletics, they won their first series in division, 2 out of 3, and they're looking solid at the plate again. The pitching has to improve. Some of the arms are solid, and some are already having issues. Luis Morales, dead man walking. He may only get a couple more shots before they have to try someone that doesn't have a whip near 3. Springs looks good. He's got a win. His whip's below 1. Great. Savali, he starts Tuesday at the Yankees. He also had a solid win, right? I hope for 4 and 5. We got 3 and 6. You know, look who we played. Defending American League champions in Canada, the Braves on the East Coast, and the AL West bully. You know, they've been the bully since forever. So, you know, we're trending up, and we're off to New York. It feels good, peeps. Until Friday. Peace.